Not sure what your 3-month-old baby should be doing right now or whether their development is on track? You're definitely not alone, and this script is here to help guide you through what you can typically expect around this age. By the end, you'll have a clearer idea of the physical, social, and communication milestones that often appear around 3 months. If you enjoy learning about child development and want simple, realistic parenting guidance that helps give your baby the best possible start, make sure to follow along and stay connected for more helpful content. And if you're ever worried about your baby's development, it's always important to speak directly with your pediatrician or healthcare provider, who can assess your child properly and offer reassurance or support when needed. At around 3 months of age, babies are becoming much more aware of their bodies and the world around them. One of the biggest changes you'll notice is improved head and neck control. When your baby is lying on their back, they should be able to keep their head centered rather than letting it fall to one side. As you move a toy or your face slowly from side to side, your baby will often track it with their eyes and turn their head to follow along. This shows improving coordination between their eyes and neck muscles. You may also notice that your baby enjoys stretching their legs, kicking enthusiastically, and pushing against the surface beneath them while lying on their back. These movements help strengthen their muscles and prepare them for later milestones, like rolling and sitting. During tummy time, a 3-month-old is usually able to lift their head anywhere between about 45 and 90 degrees. Their elbows are often positioned under or slightly in front of their shoulders, helping them prop themselves up. Many babies enjoy kicking their legs while on their tummy as well, even though it may still be challenging at times. Regular tummy time is very important, even if your baby only tolerates it in short bursts, because it supports neck strength, shoulder stability, and overall motor development. Over time, you'll likely notice your baby holding their head up more steadily and for longer periods. Around this age, some babies may begin to roll from their side onto their back. This often happens accidentally at first and may surprise both you and your baby. While full rolling from back to tummy usually comes later, these early movements are an exciting sign that your baby's muscles are getting stronger. When supported in a sitting position, such as on your lap or with your hands around their torso, a 3-month-old should be able to hold their head more upright with much less wobbling than before. You may still notice some slight bobbing, which is completely normal at this stage. If you place your baby in a standing position with their feet touching a firm surface, many babies will push down through their legs, showing early weight-bearing ability. Hand awareness also increases significantly around 3 months. Your baby is starting to discover that their hands belong to them, and this can be fascinating to watch. Their hands are no longer tightly clenched most of the time, and their thumbs are more often out rather than tucked inside the fist. You'll notice your baby opening and closing their hands, bringing them together at the center of their body, and beginning to bring their hands toward their mouth. This hand-to-mouth movement is very common and helps babies explore and self-soothe. At this age, babies can usually hold on to a toy if it's placed into their hand. They don't yet have the ability to intentionally release objects, so once they grab onto something, it might stay there longer than expected. This sometimes becomes noticeable when they grab hair, clothing, or jewelry. If this happens, gently bending their wrist forward can help trigger their hand to open and release their grip without pulling or causing discomfort. 3-month-olds are also becoming much more responsive to sound and social interaction. They will often turn their head toward familiar voices or interesting noises. Faces are especially fascinating to them, and they may spend a long time studying your expressions. When you talk to your baby, you'll likely notice that they pause, look at you closely, and may respond with smiles or soft cooing sounds. This back-and-forth interaction is an early form of communication and an important foundation for later language development. Your baby's cries also start to become more varied around this age. You may begin to notice different types of cries that signal hunger, tiredness, discomfort, or frustration. Along with crying, babies use facial expressions and body movements to communicate what they need. Some babies may even begin to laugh around 3 months, which is often an exciting and joyful milestone for parents. Sleep is another important part of development, even though it isn't considered a milestone itself. Adequate sleep supports brain growth, physical development, and emotional regulation. At around 3 months, babies typically sleep about 14 to 15 hours total over a 24-hour period. There is still a wide range of normal, and every baby's sleep pattern can look a little different. At this age, there usually isn't a strict or predictable sleep schedule. Most babies can comfortably stay awake anywhere from about 45 minutes to 2 hours before becoming tired and needing sleep again. Once they pass their comfortable awake window, they may become fussy or overstimulated. Naps at this age are often short and usually last one sleep cycle, which can range from 30 to 45 minutes. After waking, many babies need help settling back to sleep, especially during the day. Throughout the day, a 3-month-old will usually take multiple naps, often around 4 or 5. These naps may not follow a predictable pattern yet, and that's completely normal. At this stage, babies are not developmentally able to self-settle independently, so they often need your support to fall asleep. This might include rocking, gentle movement, feeding, using a pacifier, or softly singing or talking to them. These comforting routines help your baby feel safe and relaxed and can make falling asleep easier. Night sleep can vary widely from baby to baby at 3 months. Some babies may manage a longer stretch of sleep at the beginning of the night, sometimes lasting 4 to 5 hours before waking for a feed. After that, they may wake 2 or 3 times overnight to eat. Other babies may still wake more frequently, and some very lucky parents may even have a baby who sleeps through the night. All of these patterns can be completely normal at this age. Sleep continues to change rapidly over the first year of life, so flexibility and patience are key. Beyond physical movement and sleep, 3-month-olds are becoming more socially engaged and emotionally expressive. You may notice that your baby smiles more readily, especially when they see familiar faces. Social smiling is usually well established by this age, and your baby may respond enthusiastically when you smile, talk, or sing to them. They may also begin to show excitement by waving their arms or kicking their legs when they see someone they recognize. Vocal development also becomes more noticeable. In addition to crying, your baby may start making cooing sounds, soft vowel noises, and little squeals of delight. These sounds are early building blocks for speech. When you respond by talking back, imitating their sounds, or pausing to allow them to reply, you're supporting early communication skills. This back-and-forth interaction helps your baby learn the rhythm of conversation long before they can use real words. Your baby's vision continues to improve around 3 months as well. They can see more clearly at a greater distance and are better able to track moving objects. Bright colors, high contrast patterns, and faces remain especially interesting. You might notice your baby reaching toward toys or objects that catch their attention, even if their movements aren't perfectly accurate yet. This reaching is an important step in developing hand-eye coordination. Emotionally, your baby is starting to form stronger attachments to caregivers. They may become more soothed by familiar voices and routines and may show preference for people they see most often. This growing attachment helps your baby feel secure and supported, which is essential for healthy emotional development. You may also notice that your baby becomes more expressive when uncomfortable or overstimulated, using fussing or crying to communicate their needs. Playtime at this age doesn't need to be complicated. Simple interactions like talking, singing, making facial expressions, and gently playing on the floor provide plenty of stimulation. Tummy time, reaching for toys, and being talked to throughout the day all help support development. Even everyday routines like diaper changes and feeding can become meaningful moments for connection when you talk to your baby and respond to their cues. It's important to remember that every baby develops at their own pace. Some may reach certain milestones a little earlier, while others may take a bit more time. Variations are completely normal. However, if you ever notice that your baby seems very stiff or very floppy, doesn't respond to sounds, doesn't make eye contact, or doesn't show any interest in interacting, it's a good idea to bring those concerns to your pediatrician. Early checks can provide reassurance or allow for early support if needed. As your baby continues to grow, the next few months will bring even more exciting changes, including increased movement, stronger communication, and more personality shining through. Enjoy these moments, even on the challenging days, because development happens quickly and each stage passes sooner than it feels. If you found this information helpful, consider sharing it with other parents or caregivers who may be navigating the early months with their baby. Learning what to expect can make parenting feel less overwhelming and more empowering. Stay tuned for more helpful tips, guidance, and insights designed to support you through each stage of your child's growth and help you give them the strongest possible start in life.